I love Stranger Things. And to some of you, that might sound weird coming from a high school kid that didn't grow up anywhere near the 80s, but it isn't. My father, born in 1970, grew up with the 70s and 80s. And most importantly, 80s movies. Movies that my father had me grow up with as well. Stranger Things' success shouldn't be a surprise. A lot of blockbusters in this decade are revivals of 70s and 80s properties. Kids today are probably more familiar with them than kids at the time. And during this resurgence of what I refer to as 80s too, Stranger Things really evokes nostalgia from not only the people that grew up with the 80s in the 80s, but also those who grew up with the 80s afterwards. The reason why Stranger Things evokes nostalgia so well is because of the great balance of derivation and originality, combined with the almost flawless storytelling. And now, with its second season already out, it's easy to see what one of the biggest inspirations of the series is: the Alien franchise. Now, this comparison isn't anything new, but now that the second season is over, it's really apparent that the show is very much the Alien franchise. Think of Season 1 being Ridley Scott's 1979 film Alien, and Season 2 being James Cameron's 1986 film, Aliens. You know, I started this off thinking it was just going to be an insight into how Stranger Things plays homage beautifully, but I'm just going to compare Stranger Things to Alien and Aliens. Spoilers for Stranger Things Season 1, 2, Alien, and Aliens, obviously. Okay. So, Stranger Things Season 1 and Alien. The similarities between these two are with the antagonists, Hawkins' lab and the Demogorgon. In both, there's only one creature, that being the Demogorgon and the Xenomorph, both operating under the mechanism of less is more. Seeing less of the creature amplifies your fear of it. The fear of the unknown. And yeah, Alien did it because it was much easier, as did Jaws because the shark looked like ass. But in both cases, seeing less of the danger made you more afraid of it, and Stranger Things uses this to its advantage. Also because the CGI looks kind of goofy. The other thing is the main villain. In Alien, it's revealed that the real antagonist is the Weyland-Yutani Corporation. The captain, a synthetic, was ordered to retrieve the Xenomorph, and it wasn't an accident at all, the crew being expendable. In Stranger Things, a similar plot element is used, but not as a plot twist. The Demogorgon isn't the actual antagonist, but Hawkins' lab is, and the lab is responsible for the creature being loose. You also have that egg. Other than that, Season 1 isn't all that similar to Alien, but Season 2, on the other hand, is a way different story. Season 2 is 100% Aliens. Well, not 100%, but oh my god are they similar. Both deal with the relationship between the characters, as well as their relationship with the antagonist from the last chapter. Max's disbelief in Lucas about the events of Season 1 are similar to the reformed Weyland-Yutani Corp members not believing Ripley. And speaking of the newly reformed antagonists of the last installment, Hawkins' lab is now reformed, and all of the people responsible for the first season's events are now dead. Both corporations aren't trusted by the protagonists either. One of the biggest similarities is the shift in tone of the two sequels. Both are more energetic and a lot bigger, kind of like going from Terminator to T2, or Alien to Aliens. I made that comparison already. Both also have Paul Reiser working with the reformed antagonists from the first installment. The big similarities come with the fact that both changed up the antagonists. Yeah, corporate villains from the last one jeopardized the protagonists, but this time, the creatures are the big bad. And yeah, the creatures. Both have multiple now that can be killed much easier than they could in the first one. And they're also seen in full. No more, less is more. Both are also controlled by a maybe hive mind, one being the Xenomorph Queen, the other being the Mind Flayer. Not only that, but both are weak to fire. Also, both officials send in their soldiers to take care of the creatures with body cams and motion trackers, and a bunch get killed with the protagonist watching on a monitor. They're really similar. The creatures also turn off the power in the base, and both have a badass female protagonist that yells,
"Get away from her, you bitch!"
But yeah, other than that, not similar at all. They're very similar and it kind of bothers me. To close this off, let's talk about the Xenomorph and Demogorgon reproduction. Xenomorph reproduction is done with a facehugger, which pops onto your face, gives you a chest baby, which grows into a Xenomorph. The egg is laid by the queen. With the Demogorgon, it seems that it steals you, takes you to the Upside Down, the Mind Flayer puts a tentacle in you and puts darts all up inside you. You either die and the darts come out, or you get rescued by your crazy mom and a badass cop and you cough up the darts into a sewer system of your local town. The darts eat and grow, molting as they get bigger. They go from slug to legs to open-faced cat eater to Demodog to potentially Demogorgon. Although the Demodogs can't travel between dimensions like the Demogorgon can, Justin still calls it a Demogorgon baby. So with such similar reproduction, the only difference is that there's no egg phase. So what the hell is that egg in season 1? These similarities are just things to think about. By no means is the show a ripoff of the Alien franchise. The homage can get a bit too much though. Tell me what you think. Did you notice the Alien similarities? Were they too much for you? Do you know what the hell those eggs are? I don't. Maybe that'll be explained in season 3. Hopefully the next 2 seasons don't follow the next 2 Alien films either. And then after that make a few spin-off films where they fight Predator. And then make 2 more that are pretty crap. And have Michael Fassbender in there twice. And it's really dumb. Everyone's dumb. Okay, bye.